Hello and top of the Christmas Eve 2012 to you. Welcome back. Thank you for listening. What? Said my son. Does Lucas want to join me over here? This is my son Lucas. And I'm not just saying this because he's my son, but he is an incredible teacher. He's not fully been conditioned or programmed into the Mulliner household yet. And so just leaving a mess on the floor is socially acceptable. Come on then, come and climb up here. Cheeky little man. There we go. Oh. Right, now, there we go. What I wanted to share with you are those moments, bearing in mind that Christmas can be, for some people, rather stressful. And the reason that it's being labelled as such is because of their programming. Because when you think about it, there are no problems or zero challenges outside of the mind. So the mind creates them. And I mean that. And the other thing is, find out if that's truthful. Now that I've just made that statement, is that true? Find out. In my opinion then, there are no problems, no challenges, no issues outside of your mind. So we create them by our stinking thinking. And for those of you perhaps that may have studied a bit of modern Buddhism, they use the term, Lucas, careful please. He's now playing with something that Mummy doesn't want him to play with. Recognise, reduce and abandon. And those are the kind of terms I use. So first of all, to recognise, in other words, you have to become conscious, you have to become aware of what you're doing. It's like a seed. First of all it grows and then it pops out. Like anger. Anger doesn't suddenly happen. It's like a seed. We all have those seeds. We've either got hidden anger or we're angry. There's nothing in between. Again, is that true? But we certainly have those seeds to anger. And anger is just one of many challenges that we would create in our life. Hey Baba. So that and attachments, and the other term used is ignorance. How many of us are ignorant? Ooh, what are we ignorant about? So once you've actually recognised something, the idea in order to reduce it would be, well, if you imagine you've got a load of weeds in your garden or a load of grass and you just wanted to chop it away, you've now reduced them. However, as we know, the seeds below, or the root, so then in order for you to abandon it, you would have to dig them out. Interesting. So ultimately you've obviously got to become conscious, you've got to become aware of it. And the terms that I would use, and you may have heard this on some of my other recordings, is first of all, you obviously need to be aware, you need to become conscious. Secondly, you need to interrupt your pattern. Whether you create a power move or any other movement or bark like a dog or anything that interrupts, that stops the usual you pattern. And then the final thing is to create a new association. What's funny about that situation? I mean, we've all heard that saying before, that one day we can look back and laugh on that. Well, why are we waiting? Oh, waiting causes suffering. Do it now. What's actually, what do I love about that situation? What do I respect about that individual? Let's say somebody cut you up in the car or whatever it is. You can when you change your focus, because if you want something to change, you've got to change the way you look at it. I mean, that is a fact, in my opinion. But again, find out if it's truthful. Because you and I know that wisdom is knowing who you are in any one moment. And it's not like it's a destination, because you're always changing. What are you trying to do, little man? You're trying to climb up there? Go on, up you get. He really could do with having a power nap. So he's a little bit... you're funny, aren't you? So, if you have those moments in your life where you're not happy, then it's a choice. You are choosing not to be. I say choosing because, like I say, you've got to be conscious in order to choose. That's because Mummy stuck this back on and then stuck it on there, and now she's made a hole in the paintwork. Exhibit A. It was stuck on there. So, enjoy yourself during this festive season. It's funny, I actually went down to, I can't even say the name of the place. I will. I went to the post office and there's a lovely lady in there that does work with me. And Lucas, that's not where it's meant to go.
Thomas.
And she was actually using a mobile while she was serving me, and then after she's working behind the counter. And then she starts telling me about this stressful journey of having chosen some shallots instead of some onions, And then there was something else that she wasn't happy with, and it was like she put on those glasses, and this is Christmas Eve, and she's not happy. And I'm thinking, if only you were aware of your thought pattern. And it's not that it's wrong, it's not about being positive all the time, it's not about that, it's about having balance in your life. Because I've heard that most of this is ancestral, our negativity, but only once we are aware of it can we do something about it. But for most of us, it's a bit like when people come to me and they want me to remind them what new lifestyle distinctions they could make so that they eat real food, you know, called, Sean Croxton calls it JERF, I love that, just eat real foods. And I present them with the information, and then they continue doing what they previously did, getting what they previously got, and we know that's the definition of insanity, and they're stuck there, even though they have the information. So it's not that they don't know, it's just that they're not applying that which they know. Where does that show up in my life, where I know something, and yet I don't apply it? Whatever we focus on, that's what we get. But if you want to improve yourself and become your maximum potential, and how does it get any better than this? Then obviously you've got to ultimately ask yourself smarter, more empowering questions rather than the disempowering program ones. It's a choice. Make it a loving one, make it a funny one. Interrupt your pattern, create a new association. What is fun? What is joyous? What laughter can be found? What do you love about? Those are just some examples. Write a gratitude journal. If your life is worth living, do a journal. How about that? I mean, I've got some of it on my website explaining where I've been and what I've done. But this is about you. What could you do to become your maximum potential? Wow, there's a question. Find out. Have fun. My love to you all. Create yourself a fantastic day. Bye for now.